A huge 6-alarm blaze erupts in Central City, and the Saints and Hornets get some help from the Senate. The latest on these stories next on Nightwatch.
Did you ever have to make up your mind and pick up on one and leave the other behind? It's not often easy and not often kind. Did you ever have to make up your mind?
What's better than buttery popcorn? We read your mind. Introducing Orville Redenbacher's Sweet and Buttery Microwave Popcorn. Covered in butter and sprinkled with sweetness. It's a totally new way to get Orvilleized.
Hey, free long distance? No roaming. Nationwide. Lots of minutes. Yeah. Of course you have to be on our network, not their network. Ours have to be someplace.
Don't get trapped. Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
By free, we don't mean without charges. There will be charges when the...
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
Mark Gastineau was a tough football superstar. Not anymore.
I messed out.
How violence at home landed him behind bars. 48 Hours, Friday.
But this is my favorite painting of them all.
Dwayne Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers helps the United Way by supporting after-school programs for kids.
Surrealist. Abstract thinking, yet classical form, was how the French interpreted the movement.
That looks like spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Tonight on an all-new Late Show, Biff's at spring training with the New York Yankees. Plus, actress Selma Blair, sports commentator Dick Enberg, and Dave plays Will It Float? First, your local news.
Fire rips through the old Bohn Ford dealership tonight. State lawmakers take their final vote on a measure that would mean big bucks for the Hornets and the Saints. And the candidates for Slidell Mayor hit the streets hard as they look to win over voters. Nightwatch starts right after the lottery.
Good evening, and welcome to the Louisiana Lottery Show. Here tonight's winning numbers. Pernilla LaFrance of Belle Chase won $10,000 playing the Golden Ticket, the new $10 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery Corporation. $10,000. Must be at least 21 to purchase. Thank you for tuning in and playing. Don't forget to pick up your tickets for tomorrow night's drawings. All drawings are witnessed by legislative auditors.
WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. This is Louisiana's news leader. Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Karen Swenson. Dennis is off tonight. New Orleans firefighters are trying to find out what sparked an inferno in Central City tonight. The fire started at the old Bohn Ford building at Washington and Broad around 6:30 this evening and is still burning out of control. The building was full of cars, the roof collapsed and made it a very dangerous situation for firefighters. The fire at the old Bohn Ford building at Broad in Washington reached a staggering 6 alarms, with firefighters racing to the scene from across the city.
The fire came through the roof, the roof has collapsed, the cars are collapsing onto the second floor.
Firefighters say it was a 2-story mechanic shop with cars on both floors plus the roof, which eventually caved in. It was nothing short of an inferno, but neighbors say they didn't see it at first, they smelled it. Paulette Williams said the smoke choked her in her den.
I saw the smoke in the house and I said, "What's going on, Tracy?"
The fire burned out of control, but because of the cars, was too dangerous for the firefighters to go inside. So they attacked it from a surround and drown strategy.
It's very difficult because, of course, the cars have gas tanks. They may have fuel in them, so we have to be very careful. And it adds weight to the building, which is why we believe the roof collapsed so quickly because of the weight of the cars.
It's unclear who owns the old Bohn Ford building, but its loss is being felt throughout the community. This building, what's left of it, had been a landmark for decades.
If you're coming to this neighborhood, people will always say, okay, drive by the Bohn building and make a left or make a right. Or when you get past the Bohn building and you're a couple of blocks from Napoleon. So it meant something as relates to it was significant to this community.
I live on 2 blocks away from here, and I've been there for a long time. And Bobby Bohn was a good friend, and still is a good friend after he moved out of the building. So it's always been a landmark.
The Bohn Ford building was history and is history. Firefighters are just trying to prevent the nearby stores and buildings from meeting the same fate. And firefighters say so far they have contained the fire to the old Bohn building, and we're told the worst is over. No one was hurt in that fire. Our other top story tonight, state lawmakers gave the Hornets and the Saints the news they were hoping for tonight. The Senate voted to back a measure which comes up with the cash to keep the Saints and help lure the Hornets to New Orleans. Josh McKelvin is live in Baton Rouge. Josh?
Well, Karen, at times tonight it appeared like the vote up here in Baton Rouge would be a close one, but by the time all the arguments were finished in the end, the Senate did vote overwhelmingly to redirect millions in hotel-motel tax money into an incentive package. Now, there is still a little work to be done, but without question, it was a big step for the future of professional sports in New Orleans, and many believe for big business in the city of New Orleans.
24 yeas and 10 nays, and that bill has passed.
By a 14-vote margin, the full Senate tonight approved House Bill 46, a quick conclusion to a sometimes hot debate over an $8 million Saints, Hornets, and Convention Center package.
I'm going to have to go home. I have to run next year, too. Yes, I like the Saints, and I want the Hornets to come, and I want to expand the Convention Center. But let me tell you, we're doing this at great sacrifice as well. This has not been easy for us.
The biggest criticism tonight charged that the $8 million Sports and Convention Center package will come at the expense of other programs, especially those outside of New Orleans.
And the problem is that there's a fund that comes from a tax that is dedicated to a purpose, and this ain't the purpose.
But with those concerns in mind, the Senate added 2 amendments to the bill. One guaranteeing the general fund money would never be used, and another offering $3 million in unused slush fund money left over from 2001. In the end, the New Orleans delegation was successful in convincing lawmakers that the package will ultimately put more money into the state's coffer.
We're able to not be parochial and to look at the larger picture. And I think certainly the way New Orleans does the rest of the state. And realize that New Orleans is the largest city in the state. And if we do well, the rest of the state does well. And I think a lot of the lawmakers realize that.
And the votes came from a cross-section across the state, so I think you saw there was widespread support for this package from across the state, and I think that sends a good message to the folks, the Saints and the Hornets, that the state is ready to take them in and really will look out for their interest.
Now, while the inducement package has cleared a major hurdle, it isn't quite a done deal. It still has to go back to the House for final passage.
You know, it's never over till it's over, but we felt confident from the beginning. We've gotten a really good reception from all of the senators, even those who eventually did not vote for the bill, and the House members. But the reception has been very good. They've voiced some very serious concerns, and we think we've addressed all of them, and we feel very good about where we are.
Now, since they are not in session tomorrow, the bill will go before the House on Monday, and there it will be expected where they will concur with the Senate in passing this bill. And the timing really couldn't be better, because that show of unity will occur one day before the NBA relocation committee gets together in New York, conceivably to make their recommendation on whether to move the Hornets to the city of New Orleans. That is the latest from Baton Rouge. I'm Josh McKelvin. Karen, back to you. All right, Josh, and as you just mentioned, the Hornets need to make it past another hurdle next week in New York when the relocation team could give its recommendation on whether or not to move the Hornets to New Orleans. And Channel 4 will be there if that decision is made. Our Mike Haas will have live reports from the Big Apple starting this Sunday night at 10 p.m. Here are a few other items moving through the special session today. Governor Foster says the House unanimously passed a bill that would return silent prayer to public schools. It now moves to the Senate. A bill to encourage more school systems to offer preschool classes for 4-year-olds in poverty breezed through a House committee. It now goes to the full House. And the Senate gave a thumbs up to a measure that prevents Congressman David Vitter from using his Washington war chest to pay for a possible run for governor. The bill would affect any member of Congress looking to run for a statewide office. Meantime, Governor Foster says Congressman Vitter stirred up trouble over a proposed Indian casino in southwest Louisiana because he refused to endorse Vitter if he ran for governor. Vitter says he gave the governor a courtesy call because he agrees with him on 95% of the issues facing the state, but denies his opposition to the Indian casino had anything to do with getting support from Foster. Governor Foster calls the whole thing foolishness. New Orleans Police Chief Richard Pennington may be in line for a new job. Today, the mayor of Atlanta named Pennington as one of 5 finalists for police chief there.
Pennington was out of town and couldn't be reached for comment today. His term in New Orleans runs out in May. A fatal train accident in Slidell this afternoon left one man dead and tied up traffic for a couple of hours. It happened around 3 o'clock near the intersection of Gauze Boulevard and Front Street. Slidell police say the train hit a man who was reportedly lying on the tracks. He was pronounced dead at the scene. His name has not been released. A television repairman discovered a body inside a Lakeview apartment building this afternoon. Police say the man was working in the 5900 block of Milne Boulevard when he noticed the victim, 42-year-old John Pettigrew, lying in the doorway of his fiancee's home. Pettigrew had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Detectives say there were signs of forced entry inside the apartment and some property might have been stolen. Anyone with information on this crime is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. Overseas now, the UN Security Council is now demanding that Israel withdraw its forces from the West Bank. That on the same day that President Bush told the two sides enough is enough. CBS's Terry Okita has the latest.
The sounds of gunfire echoed through Bethlehem's Manger Square as the biblical birthplace of Jesus Christ became further entrenched in deadly fighting. Israeli troops continue to surround the Church of the Nativity, where about 200 Palestinians have sought refuge. Meanwhile, Israel tightened its grip on other major West Bank cities, including Hebron, Nablus, and Ramallah. Faced with daily images of Mideast bloodshed and mounting political pressure to do more, President Bush announced he's sending Secretary of State Colin Powell to the region to help bring about a ceasefire.
This can be a time for hope, but it calls for leadership, not for terror.
The president urged Israel to begin a troop withdrawal, and he criticized Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat for failing to weed out terrorists. Both sides welcomed U.S. intervention, but with some reservations.
In order for us to start a political process with the Palestinians, which we so much desire, we want to start that process, terrorism and its organizer must be defeated.
Right now we need immediate withdrawal and cessation of the invasion and the incursions and lifting these horrible conditions on the Palestinian people. So the test is there.
The Bush administration hopes Friday's meeting between Yasser Arafat and U.S. envoy Anthony Zinni will set the stage for further ceasefire talks when Secretary Powell travels to the region next week. Terry Okita, CBS News, Washington.
Well, despite today's calls for Israel to stop its military action, Prime Minister Ariel Sharon avoided a direct public response, but said through his office that, quote, Operation Defensive Shield will continue. Still ahead on Nightwatch, see why hurricane forecasters say this is a year when no one can afford to have short memories. Plus, meet the councilman, the insurance salesman, and the police chief, who all say they can do the best job as the next mayor of Slidell.
And in weather, cool, dry air is filtered into the area. Will it last into the weekend? I'll have your forecast coming up next in weather.
Critics and audiences are cheering for one of the best family films in years. The Rookie is Disney magic at its best. A movie for anyone who's ever had a dream.
Oh my God!
Dennis Quaid, The Rookie, rated G, now playing.
Hey, take it easy. You already got it easy, lying down on the job.
You want to talk easy? How's about 4 shots at an easy $1 million? $4 million.
Everybody get a chance at $1 million every week at Treasure Chest.
Someone's guaranteed to win $25,000.
From Tuesday through Thursday, $6,000 a day.
Don't miss your chance to be a millionaire with Easy Millions only at Treasure Chest Casino.
Hey, Queenie, how about rolling a die like me?
Forget about it, Snake Eyes. You got better chances with Easy Millions at Treasure Chest Casino.
In 1922, Michael Langenstein opened a corner grocery dedicated to great food and service. 80 years and 4 generations later, Langenstein's is celebrating with these quality specials.
Baby back pork ribs, $2.99 a pound. Boneless pork loin, $1.99 a pound. And Chiquita bananas, 4 pounds, just $1.
Come into Langenstein's this month and take advantage of anniversary savings and store prizes. Discover why after 80 years, Langenstein's remains New Orleans' outstanding grocers.
Cheesecake, shake. No!
The word is out. No one does shakes like Sonic. It's Have Your Cake and Drink It 2 month with Sonic's new Strawberry Cheesecake Shake. Real strawberries and bits of graham cracker crust. Try one now with a Sonic burger for just $2.99.
Betting Plus has the largest selection of the best names in betting, plus free delivery or immediate pickup.
And remember, we'll beat any advertised price or your mattress is free.
We deliver a better night's sleep. Betting Plus.
We've got music from the Ferret Street Fair, and we're going to try the Cajun crawfish twist Friday morning. Hope you join us.
Voters in Slidell have a big decision to make this Saturday. They'll pick a new mayor. And in the meantime, the candidates are making their last-minute push for support. North Shore Bureau Chief Mike Ross has that story.
Good morning.
Hello. It's a three-way race between the veteran police chief, Ben Morris.
Appreciate your vote.
The longtime city council member, Alvin Singletary.
Hi, I'm Johnny Crow, I'm Mayor of Slidell.
And the insurance salesman, Johnny Crow, who's a political newcomer.
Vote for Ben on Saturday, please.
Outgoing Slidell Mayor Sam Caruso is endorsing Ben Morris to replace him. Morris is confident, but he is not banking on being a shoo-in in Saturday's vote.
I've never made that assumption, and never will. I'm certainly not going to take the public for granted. They make up their own minds about which candidate they feel is the best.
Polls have shown Morris with a strong lead, but the other candidates don't believe he has a lock on the election.
But what's happening is that there's a large undecided vote out there, and that undecided vote used to be on his side, and now they're looking at alternatives. And we're very encouraged. We're working extremely hard. We feel a great momentum, and we just feel like we're going to do very well.
All three candidates have been pushing what they feel are their strong points as Election Day draws near.
And I want to continue to provide more recreation, education, and jobs for our young people, as well as deal with major issues such as drainage. Slidell needs a salesman, a communicator, someone who can stand in front of a small group or a large group or in front of a TV camera and convey Slidell's ideas to corporate leaders.
My leadership experience, my education, my knowledge of the city, the fact that I've been involved with the citizens for 12 years.
If none of these candidates wins a majority of the vote come Saturday, then a runoff for Slidell Mayor will take place on May 4th. On the North Shore, I'm Mike Ross, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
Our North Shore Bureau will be covering the Slidell Mayor's election this Saturday. We'll have the returns and a live update at 10 o'clock. It's been more than 2 years since a hurricane has hit the U.S., and the nation's top forecasters are worried that a lot of people will let their guards down. The head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency says our memories are just too short. While there's a chance that El Nino may hold back the number of storms this year, some of the most deadly hurricane hits have happened in years with below average numbers. Hurricane season starts June 1st. And within the past 13 years, the U.S. has been hit with 3 of the most destructive storms in history. Hurricane George in 1998 ranks as the most destructive storm in history, leaving behind more than $2.4 billion in damages. It's followed by Hurricane Andrew in 1992 with $1.8 billion and Hurricane Hugo with $1.3 billion in damages. It's not hard to forget those. Those were awful.
Yeah.
And June 1st isn't that far away.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. And people, they often get caught up in that forecast. How many storms are we going to have? They got to remember Hurricane Andrew, the second most destructive storm, as you just said, happened in a year when we only had 7 storms. So it doesn't take a lot. It just takes one in the right spot to cause a bad year. So the good news is we have 2 months to really start worrying about that, but it is in our distant future. Tonight, we're more concerned about some cooler temperatures which have moved into the area. Take a look at the satellite picture, and it's been kind of a nice day with the cooler temperatures moving in, and we're not going to see any frost or freeze conditions. We're pretty much beyond that. We haven't had a frost or freeze in the city of New Orleans this late in the season in a long time. There has been a freeze, though, as late as April 12th. Believe it or not, at the airport, but that was way back in the 70s, so normally we don't see frost or freezes this time of year. But up to the north, there are some frost and freeze advisories in parts of the Tennessee and Ohio Valley, where the center of the high is. That high is giving us northeast winds, and we have an upper level disturbance coming across the area, bringing some high level clouds right now, so that may allow temperatures to kind of level off for the next couple of hours. But once these clouds break up, temperatures will take a nosedive tonight. There's that high up to the north there, moving off to the east, and that's going to cause some chilly conditions for the next 2 nights, especially north of the lake into the mid-south, where temperatures will be in the 30s and 40s for lows. Here in town, temperatures tonight will get down into the low 50s, so really no threat for a frost or freeze tonight. 70 degrees tomorrow, a brilliant blue sky out there by the afternoon with lots of sunshine. A nice northeast wind. That high will slowly drift off to the east. It'll give us one more nice morning Saturday morning before that moves far enough off to the east that we start getting into that southeasterly flow, and then the muggy conditions develop, but we're not expecting any dramatic heat. Now, these were the lows this morning. Generally around 48, 49, 50 degrees north of the lake, except for Macomb. You were down to 45. Here in the city, 55. You can take a good 5, 6 degrees off of these for tomorrow morning. That means north of the lake, low 40s. South of the lake, we're looking at upper 40s and low 50s. Afternoon highs, very pleasant out there. Temperatures right around 68 to 70 here in the city. Last year on this date, we set a record high of 85, so it can be quite warm as it was last year. North of the lake, we're looking at low to mid 60s for highs this afternoon, except for up in Macomb with some cloud cover. They got only up to 61. And down to the south over towards DeSalmons, Thibodaux, and Homa, temperatures in that same range, upper 60s and near 70, near the coast, upper 60s. Where are we right now? Well, we're cooling off to 60 degrees at the airport, but up in Jackson, it's 46, 47 in Birmingham, and a 43 up in Nashville, Tennessee. Weather Link 4, let's show you some live conditions in Mandeville. 53 degrees at Fontainebleau Junior High School. A north breeze, humidity 61%. The rest of the city, as we take a look outside, beautiful shot out there. Mostly cloudy, but there are some clear breaks out there. 60 at the airport and Audubon, already 52 though in Slidell. Humidity nice and low, and look at that dew point, 39. That's some very dry air. Northeast winds kind of breezy at 15 miles per hour. So for tonight, any clouds early will give way to clear skies and cool conditions, 40 to 45 north, 46 to 51 south. For your Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and mild highs tomorrow, right around 70 degrees. Your 5-day forecast, we add a few more degrees on Saturday and maybe a cloud. Sunday, the humidity comes back, could push 80 degrees. I think the rain will hold off till Sunday night into Monday, but that may linger into Tuesday as the heat and humidity return for our work week next week. On the water, winds are kind of gusty now, but by tomorrow afternoon, they'll diminish and shift a little more to the east-northeast. By Saturday, out of the southeast. Your average range in the tides tomorrow, just under 1.5 feet. The river is at 13.3, and believe it or not, will be up above 14 feet by the end of the week, and a lot of water coming down the Mississippi right now.
All right, Brad, thanks. More news still ahead tonight on Nightwatch. Astronomers predict a huge asteroid is headed for Earth. Find out when it may hit. And if you haven't gotten sick yet, you may be in the clear. Hear what doctors are saying about the flu season. Plus, an alarming study about pregnant women and drinking.
Fast, friendly service for you.
If you want more time for this,
then look for these. Whole or rib half pork loins, only $1.39 a pound. Sweet red seedless grapes, just 99 cents a pound. Fresh fryer leg quarters, only 19 cents a pound. And assorted luxury pasta, 2 for $1. Always fast, always friendly. Your neighborhood associated food stores.
We're just around the corner from you.
perfect.
So?
Time for new furniture? Then it's time to save at Universal. 25 to 50% during Universal Furniture's Spring Celebration. Discover Universal, just what you're looking for in a furniture store.
Oh, I know where I can put this.
Hey, all you word players out there, step down from your hangman's noose and expand your wallet and your vocabulary with CASHWORD, the new scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Cold, hard, cash. $15,000 of it all for you. Green as the mold in a dorm room refrigerator. Cash. CASHWORD. Get it? You should. It pays more than that crossword puzzle you sharpen your Scrabble skills with. Play CASHWORD.
All the music.
Every song was her favorite song.
All the memories.
An outstanding imitation of Elvis himself.
Grand Casino Biloxi proudly presents The Elvis Story, starring Martin Fontaine.
He's got the total package.
Now with an exciting new Sunday matinee.
If we were staying in town one more night, I'd see it again.
The king of rock and roll is back.
Elvis is in the building.
Live at Grand Casino Biloxi.
And he's still the king.
Only at A1 Appliance and Electronics will you find everything on sale for one day only. It's our Saturday only sale. Every location with special one day only low prices. Like this RCA 26-inch remote control color TV, just $179. A GE 6-cycle super capacity washer, only $249. Save $50. A Frigidaire side-by-side refrigerator, now $699. Save $300. A Mitsubishi 45-inch projection TV, just $13.99. Our lowest price ever. Save $300.
And only A1 is big enough for a sale like this.
The worst of the flu season appears to be over. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the disease peaked in February and has been on the decline since then. The CDC also says that this year's flu season was much milder than the last couple of years. The number of pregnant women who frequently hit the bottle has been on the decline for years, but it still remains surprisingly high. A new survey done by the CDC finds that almost 13% of pregnant women in 1999 said they drank some sort of alcohol. That's down from 16% in 1995, but most of the women who reported some sort of drinking were more likely to be over 30, single, and employed. The Earth could be on a collision course with a huge asteroid, but the good news is you have about 900 years to get ready for it. NASA astronomers say it's about a half-mile wide, and it could cause a 10-mile wide crater if it hits. The odds of a direct hit, though, 300 to 1. Just ahead, could the Zephyrs open the season on a happy note? Plus, the Saints roster shuffle continues with the trio of transactions today. Juan Kincaid has those stories next in sports.
People are coming from all over for pool and patio centers.
Gigantic 50th birthday blowout.
Yes, it's our big blowout on Cass Classic with big savings of 48%. Many styles to choose from. You could even win a 2-seater cast aluminum bench. They'll go fast with big savings like this. And don't forget our accessories. Come register for a grand prize stainless steel barbecue pit. Come to Pool and Patio Center, Causeway by the lake.
Your exterior decorators.
The Alliance for Good Government recommends your support for the following qualified candidates on Saturday, April 6th. State Representative, District 91, Rosalind Peychaud. State Representative, District 102, Algiers, Jeff Arnold. City of Kenner, Councilman at Large, Dominic Weilbacher. City of Kenner, Councilman District 2, John Laverine III. City of Kenner, Councilman District 5, Phil Capitano. St. Tammany Parish Constable, Ward 3, Covington, Rick Moore. The Alliance for Good Government, supporting quality candidates for over 35 years. You can make a difference. Please vote April 6th.
Whoa, buddy, you're not just sitting there, are you?
He's just sitting there.
You gotta get up, because everything's 0 till 03.
Any Kawasaki ride.
ATVs, motorcycles, mule utility vehicles, jet ski watercraft.
UFOs.
There are no UFOs.
Yes, there are.
But you gotta hurry.
Because good times go fast.
See your local New Orleans Kawasaki dealer.
It's tax time. But it's not time to pay. It's time to get a tax refund. From Kirschman's. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. When you buy from Kirschman's, we'll refund your sales tax. So you can save twice. First, when you save on all your favorite brand names. Then you'll save again when you get your sales tax refunded. But hurry, Kirschman's tax refund deadline isn't April 15th. It's Saturday. It's the 3-day tax refund sale at Kirschman's, where quality is priced right every day.
If you or any member of your household currently drives a Honda, Mitsubishi, Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Toyota, Nissan, Mazda, or Chrysler, you may be a member of a certain class. A class entitled to an action sales event now at Crescent City Toyota and Crescent City Nissan. You are entitled to Crescent City's lowest possible price. Every new and used vehicle is eligible. You choose 0% interest, $2,500 rebates, 0 down payments. As a member of this class, you're entitled to this action sales event at Crescent City Nissan and Crescent City Toyota.
It's getting to the point where it's getting hard to keep track of all the comings and goings on the Saints roster.
Well, with the draft coming up, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks for the New Orleans Saints. With Joe Johnson now a Packer, it was essential for the Saints to lock up Johnson's backup last season, Willie Whitehead. So they did that today, inking the former backup, now probable starter, to a 1-year deal. Whitehead had a pretty good season last year. 14 games, he racked up 25 tackles and 2 sacks. Overall, he's played in 46 games for the Saints, posting 14.5 career sacks. He joined the Saints as a free agent back in 1999. Meanwhile, cornerback Fred Weary also agreed to a new contract today, but not with the Saints, with the Falcons. Weary's expected to step in as the Dirty Birds' #3 quarterback and as their top nickel defender. Now, he gets a 3-year deal that could end up being a 1-year deal if he participates in just 20% of the team's defensive snaps next season. And another new name has been added to the Saints roster. Tackle Victor Riley signed today from the Chiefs. He's an SEC man, having played his college ball at Auburn. He was KC's first-round draft choice back in 1998. He's a good one if he can stay healthy. The Zephyrs brushed off LSU last night. Tonight, the Z's played for real with opening day, or night, in Iowa against the Cubs. As the Tigers found out last night, the Z's can't hit, and pitching's not too shabby either. And that spelled doom, doom, doom for the Cubbies. Pick it up, top one, Z's Colin Porter. This one down in the gap. That plays Jason Lane, plays Keith Ginter. All the runs being scored by the Zephyrs in the first, and none of them traveling farther than that one by Trip Cromer. That is bye-bye. It's a home run. More than enough for Pete Monroe. He gets the strikeout. Zephyrs, well, they get the victory. Open the season on the road with a win. 5-0, same two teams tomorrow night. In the majors last night, the Yanks got a great pitching performance from David Wells. He went 7 1/3, giving up just 4 hits to the O's in New York's first season win. Same two teams tonight with Mike Mussina on the hill for the Pinstripers, and Mike Mussina just as strong a night.
And the 1-2.
Mussina striking out Chris Singleton right there. 7 innings strong, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts. Robin Ventura, the only homer last night for the only run. Tonight he goes yard again. 3-run shot. His second in as many nights. Just said that Yanks win it 4-1 the final. In the National League this afternoon and on into the evening, Cubbies, Reds, Sammy Sosa off Jose Acevedo. Sammy's second homer of the year. Cubs down 2-1 at that point, but Ken Griffey Jr. answers.
Instead, he pulls it to right.
Line drive single, scores LSU's Todd Walker. The Reds get the victory. Not good news for my producer, Joe. He's a Cubs fan. 3-1, the final score. This year's Compact Classic field is top-notch, top-notch. Phil Mickelson is the latest big-timer to be added to the list of players returning for another 72 holes. Mickelson had an excellent 4 rounds last year, finishing second to LSU's David Toms. And Mix had a good day at the Bell South Classic as well. Here rolling in the birdie on number 13 and taking the 6 under par. He would finish at 7 under, right behind Steve Elkington. He had a string of 4 straight birdies on the afternoon. He is at 8 under par and the leader. The Bell South Classic after round number 1. A lot of golf, but it's like a great place to play some golf. And real quickly, I want to thank the soccer team out at Hanville High School tonight and also their boosters. They invited me out to speak tonight. Gosh, I don't know why.
You're a soccer pro.
But the food sure was good, and this is their jersey, their shirt that they gave me. I did want to thank them for having me out, and it was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Hope to get back there very soon.
You must have had a good dinner. You're very excited during your sportscast tonight.
Full.
Sammy Sosa.
I may need some help being rolled out tonight.
All right, thanks, Juan. Well, you may want to grab a jacket on your way to work or school tomorrow. Brad's back with a last look at the chilly morning forecast after this.
Headed for work tomorrow morning? Get Louisiana's latest weather on the go. Just tune in to WWL 870 AM for updates from meteorologist David Bernard, live from the WWL-TV Weather Center.
Presenting a very rare Honda Accord, featuring sporty alloy wheels, remote entry system, driver's seat with power height adjustment, power moonroof, and a very special price. The Accord Special Edition. Hurry, because a Honda like this only comes around once in a, well, you know. Now lease a 2002 Accord Special Edition for $249 a month for 36 months.
During Door Furniture's anniversary sale, celebrate with solid savings store-wide on all solid wood dining room and bedroom sets, sofas, chairs, recliners, premium bedding, and more. 914 Elysian Fields, 5 blocks from the river.
I think
a lot of women go through nesting.
And that means a lot of men have to go through nesting too.
I'm 7 months pregnant. I want to get my house ready for the new baby.
These are nice.
Well, today we went a little crazy at Walmart. New paint, new drapes, new bathroom stuff.
Well, I like to shop at Walmart because we can get everything in one stop.
Yeah, they've got new color, new designs.
You just get great stuff for the money.
I like the blue, but what about a lighter blue?
I'm the decorator.
I'm the worker bee.
Now's the time.
Once a baby comes, then it's all over.
Yep.
Beau Rivage, the Gulf Coast's premier entertainment resort, presents the new Shanghai Circus. The New York Times raves about its breathtaking heights of skill. This show is mesmerizing audiences with spectacular stunts, daring acrobatics, and impeccable precision. The new Shanghai Circus, April 3rd through May 5th. Room and show packages start at just $49 per person. Call 1-800-839-8709 for reservations. Beau Rivage, a feeling like no other.
I like K&G because their suits, they're nice suits. They're nice suits and they're well priced. And that allows for, just myself as a personal banker to have a wide selection of suits to always look good and not break the bank.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me, 'cause you heard the designers I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying, come back and see me. Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but it'll still be today till I say I'm sorry. Like vanilla, it's the finest of the flavors. Gonna see the show 'cause then you know that where I go is at my door and it's a banger. It's your life to sign a waiver. I have a tendency to wear my mind up my sleeve. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, dropped your eyes to the sides and said I'm sorry.
Brad's back with the last look at the morning weather.
Yeah, a little chilly in the morning, especially north of the lake. Could see some low to mid 40s. Here in town, around 50 degrees. A few areas away from town, maybe upper 40s. Afternoon, another great day. Dry, not humid, a high near 70 degrees with sunshine. 5-day forecast. Weekend looks good. But by the end of the weekend into next weekend, we get into, or next week, I should say, we get into some unsettled weather. Could be a wet Monday and Tuesday next week. So things looking good for any weekend plans you have outdoors.
Just enjoy it while we can.
Yes.
Thanks, Brad. And that's the news. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.